Hi, my name is Marty Owings, and this is a different kind of sketchbook tour. From 2023 to 2025, I completed many visits to historic Fort Snelling near my home. I wanted to document it in notes and sketches and to learn more about its history. What I learned is that the story of Fort Snelling is complicated.
It was a fort built in the early 1800s as the United States was embarked on its westward expansion. And it's got a complicated history. Up until 1858, there were enslaved people here, including Dred Scott. A lot of people don't know that northern forts had enslaved people working on them, but they did. And Dred Scott, an important figure in American history, and certainly a figure that's important to the life of this fort, including, the complicated history. But today I'm here to sketch the fort and do a little bit of exploration. So thanks for coming along, and we'll get started.
Its history includes participation in Native American genocide, forced removal, broken treaties, and even slavery. Yes, slavery existed at northern forts during the 1800s, and what happened here at this fort would change the course of U.S. history forever. Okay, we're going to take a look in the officers' quarters here. Viewed in the context of the 1830s and 40s, Fort Snelling might have been viewed as a model for community relations with Native Americans. Whatever goodwill had been built in those years was all gone by the 1860s, and the U.S. and Dakota went to war. It's the married officers' quarters, and what it would have looked like back around 1846. Different view of the same area, the dining room, I guess you'd call it here. They run a bunch of different programs here. I'm not familiar with all of them, but they do run quite a number of programs. So.
With more single beds, like what you'll see over in this room across, which you're welcome to go look in. Over the course of
Fort Snelling played a pivotal role in the Civil War, training and sending thousands of soldiers in the cause to end slavery, which included some of the very first African American volunteers. It participated in World Wars I and II in the fight to defeat fascism, and later became a hospital complex to treat soldiers and veterans. Like a forceful reflection of America itself, the old fort has many chapters, with all its pain and altruism, hope and apathy, cruelty and mercy. The fort remains a monument to our shared history. Today, the fort is managed by the Minnesota Historical Society, whose staff helped to preserve the site and its history while providing an important service to educate the public. Employees and volunteers engage the public as reenactors, musicians, and guides for visitors. Whether your interests are historical preservation or how people of a particular era lived, or in understanding more about the importance of U.S. and Native history, Fort Snelling serves as a special site in the American story. I set out to complete a series of field sketches and to learn the history of a place so close to me that I often took it for granted.
In 1830, stone buildings were erected for a 4-company post. Also, a stone hospital and a stone wall 9 feet high surrounding the whole post. The fort was one of the best structures of the kind ever erected in the West. It was capable of accommodating 5 or 6 companies of infantry, was surrounded by a high stone wall, and protected at the only exposed approaches by stone bastions guarded by cannon and musketry.
This was been a free territory since 1820. So it was illegal for them to be here. And they were here as part of a larger enslaved community because officers brought enslaved people not only to Fort Snelling, but to Fort Crawford, other northern forts for a full 40 years here, knowing that it was illegal.
The Supreme Court's Dred Scott decision in 1857 denied citizenship to Black Americans whether they were free or enslaved, and ultimately intensified tensions between the North and the South. Ultimately, that decision contributed to pushing the nation closer to civil war.
The Indians have lost their splendid freedom as lords of a continent, and are prisoners, cribbed upon narrow reservations. The magnificent herds of buffalo that ranged from the British possessions to Texas have disappeared from the face of the earth, and nothing remains but the white man bearing his burden.
Since this video isn't a comprehensive telling of Fort Snelling's entire history, I strongly encourage you to visit the fort, talk to the staff, and if you can, learn something for yourself about this place. If you don't live nearby, I encourage you to explore a historical place near you. Whatever distant memories echo in places like this, I think they might appreciate us remembering and giving a voice to their stories.